Hello, everyone. Sending blessings to all. I had someone recently asking me to translate this information to English. So here I am. The theme of the day is, why do we react the way we do? Has it happened to you that in front of a situation or someone, you react in a way that you cannot understand? Maybe you cry, maybe you yell, maybe you run away, maybe you disappear, and you ask yourself later, why did I react that way? It wasn't that much. I don't recognize that part in me, but it is within you. So we are going to talk about that. We usually tend to blame others on our pain, or to make feel like the other ones are guilty of my pain. We can say sometimes that, oh, what's happening in my life is because of my parents, or because of my partner, or because of my friends, or maybe because of your children, or your boss, your co-workers. It's all, right? It's all about them, but me, I'm not checking here what it is that is causing that. So the reality is that we all carry these deep wounds from our childhood. It really wasn't our parents, but it was about a perspective that we created as children that make us feel that something was missing. I didn't get this. I'm in need of fulfilling something that I feel my parents didn't give me. And we need to fulfill those empty gaps within our soul. Otherwise, our reactions are related to that. And many of our behaviors are related to that. Let's talk in a deeper level. I found this information about the wounds, and I thought it was important to share, because we first need to identify what is that wound that is affecting me, that made me react in certain way, or made me behave in certain way, or think this way, or say things this way, because it's all related to those wounds. So to fill those wounds, as I said at the beginning, we need to first identify them. So do you know which ones are yours? And I'm gonna name them here: abandonment, rejection, betrayal, humiliation, or injustice. Those are 5 wounds, and many of the things that happen around us, or the experiences that we attract, are related to that. Like maybe we say, oh, someone or many people is hurting me all the time. But why are they hurting you? Or why do you feel or think they are hurting you? That's the question, right? So this is the information about, and let's begin then. I found this book probably 10 years ago. A friend of mine recommended me. And when I read the book, I was like, wow, I really got to find things about myself that I hadn't seen it in that way. And I could understand better why I was reacting in certain ways. So the book is called The 5 Wounds to Keep, the 5 wounds that keep you from being yourself. That's it. The 5 wounds that keep you from being yourself. And the author is Liz Bourbeau. You can find it online. It's actually free PDF. You can download it. I recommend you this book highly. Anyways, I'm going to give you a brief summary. So if you don't like reading, you're gonna have this information here on YouTube, and you can have it when you need it, or you can share it if you feel like it's important. You can subscribe, because I'm going to do these 5 programs, and you can see a notification when I upload the next one. So there are going to be actually 5 programs of this information. Okay, so let's talk about the wounds. And today I'm going to talk about the first one, the rejection. We're going to talk about rejection. So when rejection happens for the first time, creates a memory of rejection within ourselves, or in our soul, because actually all the memories, we feel them energetically, but then they are created here, and then we think something about that, and we believe that's true. So actually the rejection wound, we can, it is said that it happens actually before we are being born. And how can that happen? Well, let's say that a mother gets pregnant and she's not expecting to get pregnant. And so it's a sort of rejection. Oh, but I don't want that. Or I didn't want this. Or I didn't want you. So that baby energetically feels that rejection. Mom doesn't want me. See? So it's a memory that was created in that moment. Maybe mom can change, her mind later on, but the memory is already planted like a seed. It can also happen that maybe this couple was expecting a boy, or mom was expecting a boy or a girl, and it happened that it was the opposite gender. And so maybe when they get the test and they see that it's the opposite gender, they would be like, oh, disappointed. I don't want you, I wanted a different gender. See, so it's unconsciously. It's not that they want to, our parents didn't want to. It's just that one little thing created a memory of rejection, and we don't know it. Our parents do what they can, but they don't know it all. And we don't know it all either, but that's why we're here listening to this information, so we can start healing those wounds. Okay, so usually the rejection wound it happens with the parent of the same gender. So usually a girl will feel it from your mother, or a boy will feel it from your father, from his father. So it's like feminine and masculine energies. Like the rejection, you feel it from the same. Like I will feel it from my mother, and if I was a boy, I will feel it from my father. Yeah. So that's how it happens. And what this creates is that it makes more difficult for yourself to love and accept yourself, because you feel rejected by your source, which were your parents. Either you are a man or a woman. So this is very important here. It makes difficult for us to love ourselves or to accept ourselves if we feel rejected by our origin, by our source of coming here, are channels of life. Okay, so each one has different traits, physical traits and certain behaviors, and I'm going to talk about those just now. So let's talk about physically. The wound of rejection, the person who has this memory or this wound, holds this wound, usually is very skinny. It's very, very skinny. And that means it's kind of like wants to disappear. I don't want to bother. So I want to be myself, kind of disappear. So it's very skinny. Doesn't want to be noticed a lot or seen. So it's kind of like disguised or tends to put in places where no one is really noticing the presence. The body is kind of contracted, like the shoulders go like this somehow, and they are less skinny and like this. So they kind of contract their body. Like it kind of like also crosses like this. It's like kind of sort of protection. And that's pretty much what in the body shows. The eyes also have this look of like kind of scary looking, like I scared of some things. And yeah, they get scared of many things. I'm gonna talk about that too. Let's talk about how the behavior happens as a kid. Usually the people with the rejection wound as a kid, they are very quiet. You know, those teachers that used to say, oh, but your kid is so well behaved. He's so quiet, no troubles, well behaved. Is this kid that doesn't give any troubles at school? People don't even notice it. Actually, this kid is very isolated. Like other kids might be playing together, and this kid is the one that is isolated from the other ones. Kind of enjoy being alone and don't want to say much or do much, but just stay not noticeable. Let's put it this way. And they don't have many friends either in school. Okay, so usually another thing that I skipped saying is that we tend to choose parents, because yes, somehow we choose our parents. We chose parents, or we chose parents that have the same wounds, because we need mirrors so we can see what we need to heal. That's also very important to see and to know. And sometimes we tend to project on others what we feel we didn't receive from our parents. So, for instance, if I had issues with my mom and I feel rejected from my mother, then maybe I can find a teacher that is older, maybe, and that behaves like my mom, or the mom that I want to have, or that I would like to have, because she accepts me or she likes me, and so I feel like she's giving me what mom didn't give me. So we cannot project what we need in someone else. So outside, I'm looking for mom to accept me or to love me. Yeah, so that's one of the things that you should be checking to see if you are looking for that somewhere else. Because that's how we are trying to fulfill these empty gaps that weren't fulfilled as a kid. We have these needs to fulfill these empty spots that is within my soul. And if I don't fulfill them, then guess what? I'm going to be looking outside for those, to fulfill those. And Actually, there are ways to heal this. That's why I'm also going to talk a little bit at the end of family constellations, which is my field, my passion. And I'm going to talk about how we can heal this through family constellations. Okay, what else? Let's say. Usually, when we feel rejected by the opposite gender, let's say that I feel rejected by my mother, but maybe a man came and I felt rejected by him. Usually I feel guilty of that. And then I feel a self-rejection. I self-reject myself because I'm guilty of that person not liking me. Check on that. Let's say rejection or people that has this wound use certain words. For example, nothing is a word that they tend to use a lot. Nothing happens, nothing matters. They tend to think that their opinion is not worth it, or that I'm not interested enough, I'm not worth enough. Others know more than me, maybe. So certain thoughts that are limiting thoughts are held by these people. They think this way. That's why they usually prefer to be alone. When they are in groups, they don't speak much because they feel like their opinion doesn't count or is not important. And they feel in a group, it's very strange this, but if that person is asked and everybody turns to see this person with this one, this person wants to disappear. Oh my God, it got on the spot. And when that person got to be seen, it wants to run away. So the mask that this person usually uses, of course, unconsciously, is called invisible, the invisible mask. I don't want to be seen, right? But if I'm in the group and no one notices me, then I feel rejected. So whether they see you or not is rejection, right? Okay. There is a fear, there is a big fear that they have, and they feel panic, especially when they are on the spot. When they feel fear, they tend to run away. That's the first reaction. They feel a need to rush and leave and hide. I don't want anybody to see me. So that's one of the tendencies that the rejection has. So be checking on yourself, do self-observations, because all the information that I'm passing now is for you to see yourself. We're gonna talk about the 5 wounds. This is the first one, but just see if maybe you have certain behaviors like that. They also feel shame. They feel shame, so they tend to be very perfectionist, because if not, they think they are going to be judged, and then they are going to feel rejected. Or what a shame if I didn't do it right. So they avoid being judged and feeling shame by being perfectionist, for example. What else I can tell you? I think that's pretty much information. I'm going to talk a little bit about certain conditions that they can develop, because physically the body, or these emotions that you feel, actually the rejection wound tends to create a lot of anger and resentment also. Anger and resentment, because they don't say much, or they don't want to communicate, or they cannot express, but they repress, and they feel this anger and they don't know how to communicate or how to transcend it because they keep quiet. So that creates, those emotions may create some illnesses or disease. And I'm gonna talk a little bit about that. One of them could be anorexia, anorexic, or bulimia. And why is this? And I'm gonna talk about in a deeper level on this one, and it is like this. And I'm gonna talk also about in the systemic way. When you eat, you kind of get nourished from the earth, from Mother Earth. Mother Earth nourishes you. But if you feel rejected by your mother, then you tend to take it back. So it's a way of communicating that rejection. The bulimia state or the anorexic state conditions, are related to something pretty much from the mother. That's something that needs attention and needs to be seen. And it's a memory that can be healed, not only with medicine or treatments, but family constellations can help you with that. And I'm gonna talk a little about that at the end of this information. So something is now connecting with mom. A rejection is happening here, and that's why I don't want to eat. I don't want to get nourished by you, or I don't want the food you are giving me to nourish me because you are rejecting me. I feel rejected. And that's possible. It is possible to heal that. Another condition that can be created from this is cancer, because this anger or this resentment that hasn't been able to be processed because don't know how can create cancer. Also, it can create allergies. Allergies is like, I don't like this. I don't like you, or there's something I don't like about you. And so when someone is got allergies, it's not because of the weather, because of the pollen. It's talking a little bit deeper. So I'm giving you this observation for you to see that nothing, even a little light headache, is just something that happened. No, it's talking. It's telling you something. So if you have the eyes to look and see it. Or pay attention, it's like there is something that is speaking to you. So allergies is like rejection. I don't like something. So just sniff, you cannot take it out, just don't like it. Also, they can have problems with hypoglycemia or diabetes because they love sugar. And they can eat a lot of sugar and they don't put weight on. They're still skinny. Why is that? An issue usually with the mother, because I'm lacking that sweet love that I wanted. So I need to eat a lot of sugar. I'm giving you all of these tips. Also can have or tend to depression because there is a disconnection from the mother. So when we are disconnected from our source of life, the first connection is mom and baby. And if that connection didn't happen, then you come here and you feel disconnected from all because the first connection didn't happen in the right moment. That's possible to heal it too with constellations. So that depression, when you cannot heal that, might take to major situations like maybe suicide. So let's take this into account and see if we can understand better why we feel disconnected from others, from life, from a purpose, for why do I want to isolate myself. Also, another way of escaping, because they usually tend to escape and be alone, is by doing drugs, or alcohol. So those are the ones that have more tendency to go looking for that sugar or that escape being somewhere else. And that's why they tend to look for drugs or alcohol. So I think pretty much that's all the information about rejection that I wanted to share today, and give you this invitation to observe your behaviors, the way you act, your body. What is your body telling you? What are your behaviors telling you? What the things you're thinking are telling you? Because maybe one of your wounds could be rejection. And we have different ones. I have three main ones. The first one is abandonment, then I have betrayal, and I have also a little bit of rejection. So it's good when you get to accept those wounds and also understand where they come from. Because I stated at the beginning, you chose parents with the same wound for a reason. Because someone needs to heal that in the system, and that might be you. And I'll be so glad if you do it. Because the healing of one is the healing of all. That one healing from that one person helps healing the whole system, and the whole system belongs to all systems. And so the wholeness, the oneness that we are, gets healed. Little by little, you make the difference. So I'm gonna talk a little bit about constellations before I go. And so you can understand how you can heal or transcend these memories that we don't know how to heal them sometimes. And family constellations can help you identify the conflict that is related to your system, because pretty much everything is related to our family system and to our ancestors. We are just repeating. And when we get to identify those that are conflicts are related to that, we can liberate them. And in constellations, we do that through an experience where you can feel that fulfillment. Because if we don't feel, we can understand that we need. But if we don't feel that fulfillment, nothing is going to happen. We still will be attracting experiences to feel rejected, abandoned, betrayed. So that's what I wanted to invite you to. My name is Maya Ariel Sol, and I am a facilitator on family constellations, and I also do life coaching. So soul and mind. Soul first, mind after. And you can find me. I do one-on-one therapy online and also on site. But at this moment, with the situation we live in, online is a great option. If you are somewhere around the world, I'm in Florida, but now we can meet through Zoom. I do one-on-one meetings through Zoom where we can address what is your conflict and how we can resolve it through family constellations. So you can contact me at limitless at mayadaridelsol.com. You can send me a text by WhatsApp if you are internationally, 1-321-900-5680. Or you can find me on the social media as Maya Dari del Sol. Facebook, Instagram, Google, or mayadaridelsol.com. We are just building a new website. Or you can go to familytreeconstellations.com, and that talks more about family constellations. Thank you for watching. Thank you for liking it if you liked it. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. I'll see you next time around. The second one that I'm going to talk about is abandonment. That is very common. So don't miss it. Please subscribe so you can see the notification of when it's coming. That's my next recording. And I hope to see you next time around. Thank you for commenting as well. If you have questions, please put them down here and I will take care of them. Like the lady who said, I like that information. I need my boyfriend to have it. Please translate it. It's important. That's what I'm doing. And that's what I'm here for, to serve you and to serve a major purpose for all. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day.